Yeah, so ONYXCON FT, use it.
Thank you. You are now watching the ONYXCON Foundation's The Outdoor Experience Worldwide. With your host, Joseph R. Wheeler III. ONYXCON was born in Atlanta, Georgia, 2009. In 2020, we created the ONYXCON Fishing Tournament to get people outdoors and involved in the wonderful art of angling. In addition, outdoor recreation at large is our focus through the Outdoor Experience Worldwide. And this subsidiary of ONYXCON will expose millions to the love, joy, and creative energy that flows through all of us and is especially present in the work of many of the world's greatest artists. Join our travels locally and abroad to bring you the true core of artistic influence via nature, which we are all part of. This is the Outdoor Experience Worldwide. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so proud to bring you an angler, a true angler, an angler of the craft of the multi-species discipline that ONYXCON Fishing Tournament represents, because that's what we do. We do multi-species. I mean, you can focus on species, but I love the fact she does that because that's what we're about, especially. And she is hailing all the way from Indiana. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the drum queen, Shireena.
Hey, how's everybody doing? Hey.
And we've been trying to get this interview for a minute, but I'm glad that, you had some time off the water. I had some time off the water. I can see that the sun is shining where you're at, the sun is shining where I'm at. So probably when we finish, we both gonna be running to some water. I know I am.
Exactly. Exactly.
What is a drum? Why do you call yourself the drum queen, amongst other titles?
Okay. Drum queen came from me catching freshwater drum, which is, just us fish, of course. And I got that title because I'm on this app called fishangler.com. Yeah. And that's all I would catch. That's all I would catch, So they were like, oh, another drum. So they just called me the drum queen. So I just kept the name, the drum queen.
Okay. So. Okay. Now I know about fish.com, but I didn't know that they have a community or something. It's like,
yeah. It's bunch of different anglers from all over, and you check the water, the weather, and everything to see if the fishing conditions are good in your area. And pretty much everybody's sharing their photos of all the different species of fish they catch.
Cool, very cool. That's what's up. So, and like you say, drums are fishing. I know them to be in that sucker family, kind of related to carp, if I'm right.
Yes.
Yeah.
As far as yeah. I don't know everything, but hey.
No, it's all good. And we're prepared for that, for either of us if we get a little off today. I got my IGFA.
Awesome.
You see, what I'm saying? This is the 2020 IGFA. If anybody doesn't know what that means, that's International Game Fish Association World Records. This is all the work records of the biggest fish in the world, all of that. Do you have one?
Do I have? No, but I think I need to get me one.
That's yeah. And then,
but I do know the record for drum here in Indiana is 30 pounds. So that's what I'm shooting for.
Okay.
To catch a 30-pound. Yeah.
Okay. That's what's up. And I know you're going to get it the way you be getting them. It's going to happen.
I'm going to try.
Hey, last time you said I'm going to get it, you got something. I remember that. You was told and you won it. So, what was it? Iron Cat? Tournament?
Iron Cat. Yes. That was 39 long hours outside, fishing.
Dope.
39 hours.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Well, we'll get a little bit more into all that, but first we're going to go into history. So you're born and raised in Indiana, or where are you from originally? Where are you from?
Yes, I'm from Indiana. I grew up in Princeton, Indiana, which is about 20 minutes from Hazleton, where I live now. So.
Okay. I'm not familiar with much more than Indianapolis. I had some family up there for a hot minute. So how far away is all of that from Indianapolis?
That's about 2 hours north of me. I actually have a daughter that lives in Indianapolis, and I was just there the other day. We went to Noblesville to Cabela's. I went to Cabela's for the first time. So it was an experience, So
I bet, yeah, big store, and they got everything to make you want to buy everything. Yeah. So Cabela's is a sporting goods company for anybody that doesn't know the culture, because I'm speaking to two audiences these days. It's like when I started ONYXCON, it was mostly always all about the sci-fi, fantasy, action, thriller, or comic books, etc. So when I did the ONYXCON fishing tournament, and when I introduced the outdoor experience worldwide, I know a lot of my people are just like, what is this? What are we doing?
Like, what's going on?
Right. But I like doing that to people's brains. They need that. They need to be shaken up. And as they say, you don't put no more wrinkles on your brain until you're thinking of something new. So
exactly.
I'm trying to get But so for you, the other reason why this is the honor of an interview is you yourself, you're into all of that. I noticed that you're into sci-fi and whatnot, right?
I'm into the like Captain America, things like that. So
Marvel movies and everything.
Marvel, yes.
Are you a DC head too, or?
Not necessarily, but they have the good ones. We all have nerves here, so it's like.
So, like growing up and everything, or in adulthood, were you always into the Marvel stuff, or was it later on in life?
Not as much as I am now. Before it was just, oh, hey, let me get the t-shirt, let me get, this and that. But then as I grew older, I was like, oh, Captain America, he's actually a good guy. People think, oh, she likes him because he looks good. No, he actually stands for something. He does the right thing all the time. So that's why I like Captain America.
Okay. Anybody else on your short list of best characters that you like?
Well, not really. Sorry, guys.
She's stuck on the shield. She's with the shield, y'all. So,
and I actually have a shield.
Oh, word. Okay. All right. That's what's up. All right. Now I know you're a mom too. So like, are your kids, the whole family, husband, everybody into it too, or just you?
Into fishing or into comics?
Well, both actually, but let's start with comics and all that.
Okay. Well, not really. Nope. It's just me.
Okay.
If I could give a tour, well, I won't give a tour, but my bedroom is actually Captain America. I might have to like show that one of these days, in one of my posts or something. And my husband actually let me do Captain America for the bedroom and everything.
Does he appreciate it at all? Like, is he into the movies?
He's not, but he is into Star Trek and all those other things. So he and I wish he was here too. So yeah.
I'm a Trekker for real. And it's funny, my history with that, it wasn't all of my life. Like I call myself a casual fan when I was a kid, because all I cared about was seeing an alien. I didn't know what was going on, all that political discourse, because it's very political and social. It's about society. Gene Roddenberry was dealing with the world and racism and politics and all that stuff. And it was brilliant, but I didn't get that as a kid. All I got was, I want to see that green lady. I want to see that green lizard man. I want to see, what I'm saying? Like every time the credits, I would be mad that I missed the episode. Like, 'cause they would show those aliens and I'd be like, what episode was that? I want to see that dude. Like, that's all I care about. I was a Star Wars kid. I was born into Star Wars. That was my era. Born in the 70s, all that. So of course I love all that. Telling my age a little bit. Yeah, we all a little bit older here. It is what it is. Like, that's what I love. So like, for me, Star Trek was kind of boring until I got older. And what brought me
understood what was going on.
Yeah. And also the Queen, in Uhura, played by Nichelle Nichols. When I heard her story, I don't know if you know this story, but she was about to leave the show and she met Dr. King at an NAACP event. And he told her, you cannot leave that show. You're too important to what you represent. Like, he literally told her that, and it changed her life. She went back, told Gene, I'm not leaving because I spoke with Dr. King. I got to do this.
Right.
And the rest is history. So when I read that, being from Atlanta and everything, I was like, that's it. I did a whole homage artwork, because I'm a visual artist too. dedicated to the history of Blacks on Star Trek. So I just expressed that to say, you know, whenever somebody mentions Star Trek, it means a whole lot more to me now than it
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's like a lot of things, you know, people don't realize it until you look further into it, you know, so.
Exactly. So born and raised Indiana, growing up, were you into fishing, or what introduced you to fishing? When did it come into your life?
Well, actually, okay, let's go back. I was, let's say, dating, okay, and all I wanted to do is go fishing. I wanted to go fishing. But, you know, people out there look for the wrong.
Now, hold on, just to put it in perspective, because you saying only in your dating years did you get into fishing, or like even as a kid were you into it?
No, well, okay, as a kid, I fished with my dad and my grandpa and things, okay? And then later on, you know, because it just went away, you know, life, growing up and everything. But then dating, you know, I wanted to go fishing again. I was like, take me fishing. Somebody take me fishing. Okay. Well, they all wanted other things other than fishing. And I'm like, I really want to go fishing. Yeah, just because I'm a girl don't mean I want to get out and, you know, do other things. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So then I met my husband. Okay. And he was like, I really want to take you fishing. I said, are you sure you want to take me fishing? You know, what is this really about? Mm-hmm. Well, when we met, he was like, well, come out to the house and everything. And I went into the backyard. He lived on the river, the whole river. And I'm like, wow, you know, you ask and you shall receive. So, you know, it was the whole river. So then he was like, well, let's go fishing. He takes me into the garage and he has a bunch of fishing poles, you know. So we go out, we fish, you know, and one thing led to another. We're married. And he fished all.
No, I'm just joking. I know you ain't got that.
Yeah, no, he fished all the time, you know. So we fished so much. I was like, you know, I'm kind of getting tired of it. So then he goes to work. You know, I'm skipping out a few things, but you know, if you piece it together, you'll figure it out. So he goes to work one day, and I go out and I say, you know, I'm gonna do this myself. So I break the poles, break the line and everything. And I'm like, oh no, he's going to be mad when he gets here.
Wait a minute. You said break the poles. How many poles?
I snapped the line. I snapped the line. So I had to hop on YouTube and figure out how to tie my own rig and get the pole back together and everything back together before he got home.
Right.
So from then on out, I started doing everything, and, you know, and then here I am, you know, I fished every day last year, you know, so now it's something I just love to do.
That is what's up. Congratulations on that. And you know what's funny? That leads right into another question I have for you. It's just like, how did 2020 affect you? And your answer is just like mine when people ask me, like, fishing was the thing I always loved, that I had more time to do than ever last year. So it became serious because I realized how much I really, truly love it. Like, it's not just something I do. It's something I would love to have been doing as much as I do it.
Yeah.
Now. I just never had the time to do it this much. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. So,
and also another thing, I used to work in a hospital. Okay.
Just about to ask.
And I had to take off time from working at the hospital. And one day I was coming down the stairs. I fell down the stairs and messed up my foot. Okay. And I didn't have anything else to do, you know, so I would just go out to the river and fish all the time, you know.
What river are we talking about? Because I love
the White River in Hazleton.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm not familiar, but I'll just look it up just to know a little bit more about that area, because I have watched your videos and they're cool. I love when you be everywhere. You're on the boat sometimes, you're in the backyard other times. I can always tell when you talk about that.
Yeah, and the river's only about 75 yards away from the house.
That's awesome. Wow. I'd be doing this interview. We'd be doing this interview. We'd both be on a river right now if I had it like that. I'd be sitting there right with a pole, right? Yeah, for real.
Well, see, I even thought I was like, well, maybe I could go outside, you know, and fish while doing this. But then I thought, no, that would take away from, you know, us talking, because, you know.
That's all right. One day I just had to come up there and hang out with you.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but so basically were you like a nurse or doctor or what? Is that your regular
I was
job?
a tech. I was a tech. Yeah, at
Like,
the hospital, just helping people,
mhm.
with their daily activities and things.
Gotcha,
So,
gotcha. Are you still doing that, or are you just 100% fishing?
yeah, that's what I do. I fish now because the doctors can't figure out what's wrong with my foot, so I can't lift as much as I used to. So,
Mm. You know what, Shireena? Now I'm gonna get a little bit personal on this one, just to say
that's fine.
that I can relate, only because some people say I feel your pain, but you be like, no, you don't. You ain't never been through this. So I'm not saying I feel exactly whatever you got going on, but I'm gonna say this: years ago, and it's related to ONYXCON of all things, I was setting up for the event. And a lot of times, a lot of people see what I've done with this over the years, and they just assume that I've got this huge team that's always ready to go when I need them. Yeah and no, and that because I don't want to diss anybody who is still down for me.
Right, right.
But when it comes to people's schedules and stuff they got to do and who's available, a lot of times when it came to doing setups on some occasions, I'm out there putting out chairs and tables myself for the vendors, getting ready for the next day. And there was one day I was doing this for an event. It's been about probably 3 years, I think now. I dropped this heavy table on my foot. And then now every day, especially, on them rainy days, they talk about that pressure.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still way more functional than what you're describing. I can still, but I know as I get older, like after those 2 incidents, I'm so cautious. Like I refuse to, not work out and not do anything and just
Exactly.
But I definitely understand more why people talk about injuries and how much it changes your whole life. So
it really does. It really does, because sometimes people take for granted the things that you can do until you cannot do it, because I see people on TV that are jumping and I'm like, man, I wish I could jump like that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's real.
Yeah.
So yeah,
for real though. And so basically you're 100% fishing now. So that would mean I see how you're doing your YouTube. I see how you got your Instagram. Congratulations on 1,000 followers.
Thank you. Thank you.
I saw that post.
I need them to step on over to my YouTube,
Tell them what it is, but at the bottom, go ahead and say it right now, but we're going to make sure all that's on here. Go ahead.
Yeah. Do what?
No, just tell them what you are on all your platforms real quick.
I'm Shireena's Keeping It Real on all social media platforms. So hop on over, check me out, and I'll produce content, the best I can. And when it happens, it happens. So
that's what's up. And, I will spell it out because, you spell it real hip hop style. And I love that, you got the keeping with just the end and the dot. And and the real is for fishing real, REEL. So I love that.
And I also keep it real too. So, hey, either way you look at it.
That's right. That's right. Yes, she does. I can vouch for that. I've enjoyed a couple of your videos actually. So you catch a lot of exotic species up there, and I love that. Like you caught a sturgeon, you catch
sturgeon,
you caught the blue cat. Who else is on the hit list that you have gotten, and who do you want to get?
I want to get a 70-pound flathead.
Ooh.
Yes, that's what I'm shooting for.
Ooh, my kind of lady.
I need to get on the right waters though, because I don't know if it's out there. It could be, it probably is. But I just got to get in the right spot. Now I'm on that 70-pound flathead.
And so for those who don't understand, that's flathead catfish, and they are beast monsters, and can be for sure. And I'm flipping through the book real quick to try and put it on camera and show them, some kind of example so they know what I'm talking about. I know there's plenty of people gonna watch it. They don't know nothing about fishing.
I did it for a while.
But we gonna get them. This is how it always starts. Like they say, man, this whole world sounds interesting. Maybe I need to try this. There's plenty of people who always say, I always wanted to, but just haven't found the right inspiration to want to do it. So one of the other great things,
get out there and do it.
And I mean, let's be real, and we keeping it real. For a lot of our people, as far as, ethnically speaking, African Americans typically, it's a long history, a proud history of us doing it. But for some folks, it's this like vague area, like, I don't, some people don't like going outside. Other people can't fit their mind around it because they only see a certain demographic of white folks doing it and think it's their thing and we don't belong and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, how do you fit into all of that? I mean, I know you're in a multi-ethnic relationship. Kudos to you and your husband, you know what I mean? But like, how does that work for you being a Black woman too? Like all of that?
I don't even look at that.
Mm.
It's like, I mean, I hear it, but I just ignore it because I'm a person. I'm going to fish. I'm going to do what I have to do,
That's
regardless of, you know.
That's right. Good for you, straight up. You know, and I think that's awesome because the more we have professional anglers in the biz, I can't find this picture quick enough. Here we go. That's a flathead, y'all. This one over here, and it's not gonna show up too clear on picture, but I know, and that's a channel. I get those all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, big channels, and they're all edible, good eating if you like catfish. But
now we don't eat ours here.
I was just
we
about
don't
to say,
just catch and release.
Pending on size and water conditions. So is that the issue for y'all there? Is that the reason you don't eat them or what?
That's why we don't. There's people around here that do, and I've had people like drive by here and see me out fishing, and they're like, "So what are you catching?" I'm like, "Drum. I catch drum." And one guy was like, "So how many you caught this year?" I said, "Well, I've caught about 300 from that spot back there." And he was like, "Are you kidding me?" He said, "Well, if you would have told me sooner, I would have started buying them from you." I was like, "Well, I didn't know that." I mean, we've eaten just one, and it's not all that good to me. You know, I gotta put a whole bunch of butter or put garlic or something on it to make it taste right. So, but yeah, we just catch and release here.
Now, what's funny about that is, and when you say we, I mean, is that just your personal in-house culture, or is that the general?
Yeah, just we here in our house. Yeah.
Gotcha. Now, now rivers have a lot of issues. I know this from experience with the Chattahoochee, which we have here. The Chattahoochee is notorious for the closer you get to the city of Atlanta, don't eat nothing. You know, it's just it's because they're dumping stuff in the water, unfortunately, for years. All these, you know, factories have put stuff in there. There's cess going in. It's all kind of mess. And it doesn't filter enough until you get either far north or far south. When you're even in the west, because it almost, you know, it goes through most of what is known as Atlanta proper in the metro area. I'm so proud of my spot because it's so remote, and I never give up the exact place because, I mean, it depends. I'll tell people say, "Oh, why y'all do that? Y'all fishermen are always keeping your spot." It depends on where I'm at. Like if it's somewhere,
everybody will fish there if you know.
And you don't want everybody, because everybody ain't got the same ethics that I do. Everybody don't clean up after themselves. I hate
exactly.
I cannot stand that, to see trash, or, you know, or if I'm fishing and somebody down from me smoke. I don't smoke, so I can't stand smoke. I don't want no marijuana, none of that. I don't want none of that. When I'm fishing, I just want the air. You know?
Right. Well, even out here, we like the river's gone down to like 3 feet out here, and we've seen bicycles, tires. Oh yes, I even caught. No, I didn't catch. I got snagged on a little Buddha. There was a little Buddha and a dragon in there. Yeah, people just throw anything in there. There's, I mean, even the street people, they throw all the concrete in there and the wires and everything. Yeah, it's all in there. Well, yeah,
I'm only pushing up my face because it's all too familiar. When I'm on the hooch is the same way. Like even as far down from all of the main mess that I am, I still every 15 to 30 minutes I see a plastic bottle. You can always see that, but I'm bound to see a big old chunk of plastic, like a doggone washing fluid, like the big ones you buy Tide or something.
Oh, there's washing machines out here. I mean, there's been washing. Oh, there's a video. I posted a video, and there was a SUV like sitting off the side. Yes, and I was like, how did that get there?
Right,
and it's out in the middle of the water. It's like, yeah, there's a video. You got to check it out. It's it's sitting there. Yeah, it's bad.
If I did a video about trash at the hooch, people would wonder why I'm fishing in that. But it's like, close to the city, it's probably 80%.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, well, no, that's kind of exaggerated. That means you wouldn't even see water. I won't say it like that, but get
your net and scoop it out.
But it's I mean, you know,
on another note, that's where the fish hide too. In that stuff. You know,
catfish especially, they love something. Which leads me right into another major topic that I wanted to hit. You're doing real good for my segment. Appreciate you. You're good.
Well, I'm glad, you know, because I was worried about that.
Oh no, you a natural. It's all good. And so basically, I have this I hate the concept of calling any species of fish trash fish. Like,
oh, I'm so glad you said that too. Go ahead.
Let's go hard on this. Let's get them. So it's a big culture of the trash fish. I don't fish, well, that's a trash fish. So people label like catfish sometimes trash fish. They label carp trash fish. They label the drum a trash fish. They label gar a trash fish. I love all these fish. I haven't caught some of these, but when you see, you know, like I don't personally have interest in rigging for a carp or cat, or put it like this. If I went out there with you, yeah, okay, let's fish for carp. I know you know how to do it. Let's get on them. Let's see what fun that'll be. But I have no personal interest in eating one.
Right.
And I've heard the drum are real, like what you were saying, to make them taste right. I've heard the drum are, like my dad said, they're like oily and something. I thought to myself,
yes,
like, oily like a cod, because I like cod, right? He said, no, it's different. It's just
oily like castor oil, nasty. That's what the exact that, yeah. Castor oil, nasty.
So, and while we're talking about it like that, you know, on some people's diets, like that guy who wanted them, like this is fine cuisine, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
and I respect that if that's what you want, I'm not about to, you know, turn my nose up at it if it ain't what I want. I'm just gonna say it just ain't my thing, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna
exactly
trash, but I don't want to eat it. And then the eating doesn't dictate, you know, the level. So I have this thing about what is sport, what is, you know, catch and release, catch, cook, and clean. I do both, but I know there's a big stigma in some angler culture that, oh, you know, only catch and release, which I find utterly ridiculous because the history of fishing, you know, you want to get all the way heavy, the first hook ever made, noted, you can look at all the, you can look at, you know, you do your basic Googles and you'll keep seeing the same paragraph.
Right.
Okay. Ancient Kemet, Africa, this is where we can be proud of our Black history again. Mm-hmm. Hook ever, ancient Egypt, the first discovered ever fish hook. Ancient Egypt, Kemet. Okay, mm-hmm. So this is this is our history anyway. This is our cultures, I say. So I'm saying this is something we come from. And now we make it something else later as we get more advanced and get new equipment and different stuff and make it leisure and fun and all. Fine, but don't ever get so high on your horse that you're looking down at people who still eat, because that is the purpose of what you're doing. And if the grocery stores go empty again,
we'll be out there fishing for food.
And who gonna be calling us?
Right, exactly.
Go fishing, Shireena. My protein is low, and I can't afford to be a vegan in this pandemic part too.
Exactly. Right. You know, I've always thought that too during this. You know, if it got so bad, hey, I could go out there, catch catch my dinner.
Come on now. Same page with that. But go ahead and express your thoughts on the trash fish thing, because I got a lot.
Well, okay, so I am also in the catfishing community, right? And during that tourney that I was in, that Iron Cat, they were like, well, she hasn't even caught a fish. She hasn't even caught a catfish, you know, and I'm thinking, but I have caught a drum and I've caught some carp and I caught a buffalo. Those are fish too, you know? So had the competition been something else, some other fish, I would have won that too, you know? So don't tell me I can't catch fish, because I can. Just because it's not a catfish doesn't mean it's not a fish. Do you know what I'm saying? So I even thought at one time, I'm like, okay, I catch 300 drum. And people are like, oh, that's just bait fish. But you know what? People catch 300 bass. You catch 300 catfish. Same thing. Mm-hmm. Just a different fish. So.
Right. And yes, they do all, you know, they require different tackle. They require different methods. And, you know, you got to learn the species differently and all that good stuff. But the one thing that is the most interesting to me is no matter what, they say the tug is the drug. Like anybody who really is a fisherman or fisher lady, you get out there, and I don't care what it is. If it hits you right, and until you see it break water, you're in the moment. You're excited.
Exactly. So my husband said, is there any video that you don't say, look at it? Right. Every video I'm in, I'm like, look at it.
And I love that about that, because that's that kid in all of us. And to see you with your Kool-Aid smile when you catch your fish and you say, look at it, I love it. That's real. That's that genuine stuff right there. You know,
you should have seen me when I caught my first bluegill on a cane pole. Yeah, on a cane pole. We found a cane. Now, I said I couldn't jump, but that day I jumped. I was like, look, I got it. Look at it.
That's what's
Oh
so.
yeah, I get excited about everything. I mean, because I'm doing it. You know what I mean?
That's right.
It's just like you say, anything is exciting.
Yes.
So
Yes.
and then when I caught my PB, my blue cat, 19.7 pounds. Oh my God.
You better say.
I was just like, I was laughing. There's a video on that one too. But yeah, my husband's like, you got this laugh in that video. It's like, it was great. It was awesome. And it was at night, something I couldn't do. I fished at night, caught that at night,
wow.
So it was awesome. It was great.
Well, kudos to that on every level, because you know I do it, but I don't do it at night anymore. I've done it when I was a kid. I went out with my grandpa and my father a few times, but I'll probably do it again at some point. But I'm like, that's gonna be a real special situation, like the right way.
Well, it's like when you're a kid, you don't know what's out there, But as an adult, or you're like, okay, there's snakes, there's coyotes, there's all this other stuff out there that can get you.
Hello. Hello. So you weren't on the boat then? You was on the shore when you did that, or
when I caught the? No, I was in the boat.
Oh, in the boat.
Okay,
got you. Word. Yeah, you're right though. And then snakes swim, most of them. So yeah, like all kind of stuff.
And then out on the boat, you'll be out there riding around, and those Asian carp, they just fly from everywhere. They can smack.
I got those. Oh,
yes. We have Asian carp, and they fly in the boat. And I have a video on that one too. Whenever it was my first time out at night on the John boat, and I was like this. Oh
my God! Did you get on camera? Did one jump? Did you get
no? It's like when you want to get it on camera, it doesn't happen. And then if you try to record, you record too long. It's like it's hard to get. That's the hardest thing to do.
Ain't that the truth? Oh my God. I'm gonna explain going into this. So for those who don't know what the Asian carp is, they're invasive.
Yeah. So when you catch those, DNR, it's okay to just. You're supposed to kill them, and you can use them as bait. So
right. And these fish get huge, y'all. Like if you ever seen the episode of River Monsters where
man,
Jeremy Wade saw them for the first time, and a school of them gets to leap, and they leap out the water, and they're like bullets, they're like torpedoes, they hit you in the head, they'll knock you off the boat because heavy fish, like they look like they're 50 pounds or something. I don't know. Like I love gar, and I have a passion to catch a long nose, because there's plenty of them where I go. Like the two things that seem to rule in that particular part of the Chattahoochee are the long nose and the blue cats, and they have flatheads too. So I'm with you on that, wanting that flathead, because I hooked into a flathead one time. I used to fish on a doggone cliff when I first started fishing at the Hooch. I laugh about it now. I was like, what was I thinking? I'm a daring dude, okay? And there's a part of me, it's like, oh no, I would never do that. And then there's another part, I just get in this zone. It's like, I look back and I'm like, damn, I was doing that. What was wrong with me? But
exactly, yeah.
I was cliff, and I could keep my balance or whatever. A few times it was gar, and I would see them come up and ride me out and then let go. And you know how they do if you ever got on one, they're a mess.
Yeah.
So you've caught one? You've caught gar?
Oh yeah, 4 foot.
Ooh.
Yeah, I've got one of those too.
Ooh, is that on video? You got that video?
I have a short on not Facebook, on YouTube. It's like maybe 2-3 minutes. I didn't get the fight on there. Like I say, you never know when to have your camera on, have your camera off. But yeah, I got myself holding it up. So yeah, 4 foot.
Dope. That is.
But they do. I spent one morning they were just taking my bait, like every once in a while, like when the water level changes or when the water temperature changes, that's all that'll be up in the little spot out there. Right. So one morning I would just cast out and they would snatch my bait. And I was like, you know what, I am going to get on these, So I tried to like make my own little rig, I try to put paracord. I tried everything, I even made my own treble hook. I have a picture of that somewhere. I'll have to post it sometime. Oh, wow. But so that morning I was just like, I was pulling my arm out because I would try to yank them in, you just got to let them, they play with the hook, and you just got to get them just right, So that morning I caught 3. And I was like, yeah, I'm on it. I'm on it. I'm on it. But yeah.
Wow.
But at first I was mad. I was mad at him. But then afterwards, I'm like, look, I got you. I'm getting you. So I just kept bringing them in, bringing them in. Yeah. And it was fun. It was fun after a while.
I know it was. You're my idol right now. You don't even I've been trying to get one now going into another year, but all of 2020. And there's, you know, multiple species. I think it's like a total of 7 species, but the main ones that anglers grabbed are, you got the spotted in some places, the short nose, the long nose, and the alligator gar.
Oh man, that's a river monster one.
Woo, it's on my list for life. You know that's bucket.
Oh yeah,
that's to go to Texas. I said there's 2 things I need from Texas: alligator gar and a nice, comfortable pair of cowboy boots.
Yeah,
I got to go for real. That's how bad they are. They off the chain. I love them. And
they are.
They're prehistoric. And any prehistoric, I think my love for prehistoric started when I was young. I caught, and it's a record that should be in this book. I'll say this on camera. But, you know, as prestigious as the organization is, no, you know, direct diss to them, but, you know, they got a lot of stuff they need to tighten up. They somehow lost the record or something. Like my father got back in touch with them, like, you know, we turned this in when he was a kid. I was in middle school, but I caught a bowfin.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I caught a bowfin, and it was 11 pounds, 8 ounces on, I forget what line, but it was a record for that line weight.
Oh, wow.
And I've never seen a bowfin since. And we were at West Point Lake of all places. So that's the other reason why I'm always excited when I'm at the river, because I know it's a chance I might get another. And
exactly.
In the river, you know. So have you ever caught a bowfin?
No, I'd like to though. I'd like to catch anything that I haven't caught. That's what I want to catch.
My kind of angler. So, so like, I mean, because you know, it's like sci-fi realms to me. Like, look at all these other worlds you didn't even know were under the water. That's how I feel when I catch something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so. But you know, to be a kid and catch that thing, I lost my mind. Like, you know, we've been nothing but bass, catfish, brim. That's it. Bass, catfish, brim, and perch back in the day.
Yeah. You know, people around here get the white perch and the freshwater drum mixed up, and I'm like, it is not a perch. It is not. I even put up a picture of one of each of them and described. I said, this is why the drum is not a white perch. So I even have my neighbor say, oh, look, you're out there catching perch. No, I'm catching drum.
That's a big old perch. No, it's not a perch.
No, it's not. Even when they say it on TV, I'm like, it is not. That is not what you're holding.
Oh my, it's hilarious because, okay, so all these words are words, different languages. We all know, you know, with languages, people do what they want, and over time it becomes fixed, and everybody can't get their mind out of it. But, you know, unfortunately, some of these labels are more, some of them are more scientific, some of them are just colloquial.
And that's like with the buffalo. They are not carp. Buffalo and carp are not even they're not in the same family. You know, people always say, oh, you caught a buffalo carp. No, I didn't. I caught a buffalo. It's just a buffalo. And, you know, I've read it's in the minnow family. Okay.
How about that?
And I was like, yeah. So that shocked me too.
Yeah, I had to look it up. It might be more related to shad. Okay, I got you. But you know, that's all that stuff is hilarious when you get into that. It goes on and on with people because I like, you know, I hear people say gar pike. It's like, it's not a pike. Pike is the Esox. That's when I get into the little bit I know of them Latin words. Is the Esox family is not gar. This is the gar. And
I want to learn all that. I want to learn, you know, the scientific and, you know, all that. You know, I have a lot to learn. You know, I would just go out there, put a worm on, throw it out and hope for something, you know. There's times I want to try to target things, you know, like I started trying to target the carp, you know. I want to try to do that, but I also just still want to throw out there and hope for something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what makes it fun when you know, and that's what gets your mind going. When I came out here for one thing, but lo and behold, like I never finished that story. So I was trying no, it's all good. This is, if you ain't noticed, this is how we do interviews. I don't like, we're going to stay on. No, that's boring as hell. We about to talk. We talk.
Okay.
We are talking. So, and that's why I love the Texas culture about it. They respect it because they've been doing it for years. And shout out to all the Texas anglers that fish for gar. Y'all the hardcore champions. I see y'all. But when I say they are like, people always talk about the muscalonge in the pike family and how they're the fish of 1,000 casts. Well, they the fish of 1,000 casts, and that's no diss to a muscle. I haven't had the honor of fishing for a pike yet. I love pike. My dad caught the southern pike, we call it the jackfish, which is the pickerel, chain pickerel.
Mm-hmm.
A hell of a fight. We're talking about a fight. Man, we both thought it was a bass when it jumped the first 2 times. It was like,
yeah.
Then we could see the shape of the head. It was like, wait up around it. Like, and them teeth. Oh my God, them teeth off the if you got teeth, I love you. Okay, fish. I love you. Fish. Yeah. All you toothy, you got instant respect from me. Instant. I love you. You're the bomb. So and then not to say I don't like the other ones too, but that's right. A thing for me. I like that. As far as so catch and release and catch, cook, and clean. Who do you mostly catch, cook, and clean, and who do you mostly catch and release, or would only want to catch and release?
Let's see. I guess it would have to be catfish, but catch and cook.
Okay, that's what's up.
Because I really haven't caught a lot or enough to. Say I have a favorite or what I would do, you know what I'm saying? So.
Right. And, there's limits here on, or at least advisories on, when it gets to a certain size, it'll tell you, like I get this little manual. I'm gonna show this real quick for all my Georgia anglers. You can get this at like Walmart. It's a little simple guide that tells you, they have this chart. I love this chart because it breaks down, you see those dots for each species. Mm-hmm. When it gets to the orange and the red, it's saying, once a month or red, do not eat.
Oh.
Yeah. So.
And what's one of them on there that says do not eat?
Surprisingly, I don't know why, but.
Oh no.
Stripers sometimes.
Oh no.
Which again, I love stripers, but I just laugh at people talking all that stuff and making some fish elite to the other fish. It's like stripers can hold a lot of contaminants when they get big. And no different than a catfish, just about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, so, like you say, what's out in the river, they're eating that. So
come on now, hey. So, but no, like so for me, like I always like when I caught that, those real giant catfish. Some of my friends like catch and release because they don't know. I said, man, let me tell you something. Anything, if the fillet is long as my arm or longer, I'm not eating that.
Exactly. No. They've been through too much.
They've been through too much. Yo,
they've been through too much to be eating.
You're gonna be eating all their memories and pain. And you're like, why do I feel bad today? Like
exactly.
but on another level, just the bacteria that builds up. Seriously, it's a major thing over time. From all the abuse of water from humans. If humans didn't do the stuff we did to the water, not me and you, but those humans amongst us.
Right.
Abuse this beautiful life we have with the rest of nature, I would eat all kinds of stuff. Like, okay.
A pompano?
Oh, yes. Yeah, I love them.
Yes. I would like to, I've seen people fight those. I'm like.
Let me tell you, I ain't gonna make this that long a story because anytime I hear that word, I get back in my memories. I get my fond memories as a single. Yeah. So I was dating this lady distantly once, and she lived in a nearby state with more ocean water than ours. Anyway, right. Yes. And I went down to see her, and while I was there, I told her, I said, I'm gonna do some surf fishing because I fish. And she, oh yeah, I love that. If we catch something, we can cook it that night, all that. I was, doing my Mac thing, chatting it up with her, had my pole in this, locked in the sand. I didn't even have a proper holder. I had it just pushed into the sand.
No.
Yeah, because I didn't have one, right? You know what I mean? But still a good story, right? So
right.
I'm talking to you, what I'm saying? So boom. Red got my poles snatching, going. So I pulled up that pompano. It was a night, perfect eating size, like this, for real. I got a picture of it. Yeah. That was a beautiful fish. And when I say tasty, you can eat them from the head to the tail. Like there's no bad meat on a pompano just about.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like they have this hump on the head. Like you can eat all of it. Delicious.
Wow.
We didn't even fillet it. We just seasoned it and put it in the oven. It was amazing. It was amazing. So yeah, pompano keep that on your list. You're gonna love that. That's great. Yeah, for me, my catch list is worldwide. There's pretty much so many different fish, in every type of water, which is why, with the Honest Con Fishing Tournament, we keep it open to everything like that. We say, hey, this is for all these species, all waters, all territory. Well, we don't care where you are. I want to see more worldwide involvement. And that's why we thank you so much as an angler, because I want to say, you are the second person to use the hashtag. But you're the person to use the hashtag the most and appropriately and properly as we ask people to do it if they seriously want to win. You are that one. I'm saying that on camera. I want you. I know I've said this. I've sent you a message to let you know that, but I want you to know that we appreciate that, because people don't pay attention, and it's so funny to me because I always say this, and I know it's gonna happen. I say, when I'm out fishing one day with the Rock Johnson, Dwayne Johnson somewhere, because he loves to fish, by the way, if you don't know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he got a lake in his land here in Georgia. He's got a little pond or something. And so he stocks it with largemouth. And he's got look on Instagram, you'll see a picture of him holding a big one.
Well, I saw it was one of your videos, I believe. Yep. And I saw, the different people holding the fish and stuff. Yep. Yeah, I saw that.
Tournament, exactly, last year. And so that's my point. Like, one of these days, I'm in the biz. And I mean, I've worked on set with him. I ain't saying I've dapped him up or nothing, but I was 10 feet away from the man and he looked at me.
Yeah, you were there.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying, I'm in that world. So it's only a matter of time with the people I know and what I'm doing. It's going to get to that level. And I'm trying to let everyday people realize, hey, I'm still everyday too. You can be a part of this and we can all be doing what we're doing right now, while I still have time, while I still can acknowledge your, messages and everything, and not seem like I'm so busy or whatever.
Right.
But I want people to get in now, because I know I'm gonna stick with this. Like you, this is another one of my jobs now. And
right.
It's gonna get to that point where, and people like yourself, I'm letting you know this too, who I see solidarity with. I see your energy, and I just want to keep bigging you up, because what you're doing is so important. It's like what Dr. King told Nichelle Nichols. You are so important as an image, to be a Black woman doing what you're doing. I know you just like, I'm just me. I get that. But
yeah,
because you know what else goes with being you. I know you know that in this society, in this world. And I'm saying that's so important for, young ladies that are of your ethnicity and may not have ever thought I could do this, to realize, hell yeah, you can do it. And you can do it professionally. It can pay your bills. You can get on YouTube and get to that point with following. Like, you got more followers than us as far as this goes. I mean, we got the numbers for the rest of ONYXCON on Instagram, but I'm so impressed with your numbers. Like, every time you go live, you got hundreds of people looking at you. That's freaking amazing. That's awesome. That is awesome.
Well, thank you. I'm just like, well, whenever you message me, and I'm like, what? And then I started looking through everything. I'm like, I'm catching a drum. That's what really, that's what I said. I'm like, I just go out there and catch whatever, I wasn't trying to get big or anything. I mean, I know I'm not huge or anything, but like you say, somebody else will be encouraged by seeing what I'm doing, and know that there's no limit, to what you can do. You just have to do it,
That's
so
right. That's right.
I want anybody out there that thinks, hey, I can't do this. Yes, you can. You can even, if you think you have to have expensive gear, you don't.
That's right.
You can take a tree brand or something like that and just make you something and catch it. It's not about the gear you have. It's not about the name brand things you have. Just you can do it.
That's right. Absolutely. Because it does take a lot of skill and understanding basic physics. Like, I wasn't good at physics in a class, but I'm good at physics in just what makes sense. Like,
exactly.
When I get a pole, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, like you say, you weren't good at physics in school. You weren't good. There's people out there that aren't good at math or aren't good at English or aren't good at anything like that. But when you apply it to something that you love and something that you like to do, that's when you start to know, hey, I really do know physics. I really do know this. I really, what I'm saying? So you do know, but I don't know how to put it, but
I know what you mean.
just apply it to something that you love and you will know how to do it.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely. And I'm gonna ask you, since you have caught one of my dream fish, a long-nosed gar, and you said when you talk about 4-footer, that's the beginning of my dream right there. Like, ooh, I done seen them, so I know what they. Ooh. So what I find interesting about this rod is kind of a combination to me of a catfish rod and a bass rod. It's almost both.
And it's like beefy, and then
that's what I need. Yeah, if it ain't beefy from here to here, then that ain't river ready. It need to be beefy.
Right.
I like that word. That's a new technical word. If it ain't beefy. Okay.
Yeah. See, I just have my own words. You know, I love that. Try a proper one.
Shireena, it is proper. We're gonna change the game. Let's just be honest. All the words we use and somebody else made them up, just like we're talking about the names of fish. If we really want it, that's a whole nother topic. Like, I'm a big advocate for indigenous names to fish from people who fished those fish way before colonization, like the original native names, the original African names, wherever you are in the world, Asian, anywhere on this planet, who was there fishing them fish for centuries? What did they call them? That's the name of that fish. Like, there's a fish in Australia, they call it for the Murray River. But Murray, if you look him up, he was an imperialist colonist dude that decimated the people. The hell with Murray. Yeah, I said it on camera. These opinions do not necessarily reflect those of all of ONYXCON, but yeah, they mostly do, because I ain't with that racist crap. All right.
Right.
But yeah, you know what I'm saying? So when I get to Australia, I cannot wait to meet some indigenous folks. Say, what y'all call them? That's what I'm gonna call them. Period.
Exactly.
Period. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And the fish ain't got nothing to do with none of these human things. But when we talking, I'm gonna honor first people. Okay. And tradition. So anyway, so with this one, my goal, these are saltwater hooks, and technically they're like J hooks. If you can, I hope that shows up on camera.
I see it.
If you notice, you see that bend? It's not straight.
Offset.
It's got a curve. Yes, offset. And so I never knew that technical term. I just called it the curve. But go ahead. It's an offset J hook.
Offset.
And so
get it right.
So for the offset setup, I've hooked more catfish than I can tell you. This has been my #1 for channels, especially. And even with, I'm trying to think with those two blue cats. One of them I think was this, and one of them was definitely a treble. And it wasn't a big treble either. It was probably, I'm trying to see if I got one in here to show an example of size, but I don't see one right away. But it wasn't that big, is my point. And it didn't, and I always tell people this proudly: hot dog. It was a hot dog. Every catfish loves hot dog.
Exactly.
I'm telling y'all the secret, y'all. I'm telling y'all. So anyway, this thing here, this is a monster, but I'm thinking it should be working perfect for a gar, because just that bend, because of the chance, it's kind of like a circle. It doesn't have the exact same look of a circle. It's more of a J to me. But with the bend, I'm thinking as soon as they go to shake it, maybe the curve still catches something. That's my theory. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, I would say, yeah, because like you say, they hit it and take off. Yeah. Like you say, you got to catch them in the exact, exactly right.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got it like right in the meat, just right in the meat.
Wow. And
I have some of my hook sets on Instagram. So, and I got a close up of the hook set. So the metal.
We getting real nerdy. I got the metal. They ain't gonna cut this. If he cut this, so you gonna hear me yelling from Georgia. I mean, and you better believe that's what I want to do too. I would love to be able to say I have broken I got my list here. 50 pounds is the record right now for a long nose, world record.
Oh wow!
And
I couldn't imagine getting a 50-pound gar. 50 pounds
on a long nose. I mean, woo.
I mean, mine was 4 foot. Okay, and it was hard to get up here.
I know it was. I hooked into one like that. I got a video of it spit. Did you see my video where this guy spit it back at me? I had it hooked in. It's hilarious because it literally looks like you see him like, it's like first I thought I was stuck. Like It feels like a log because of their body structure. I was like, I'm stuck on a log. Then the log is moving. I'm like, oh snap, oh snap. And then I see Godzilla surface the water and he's coming across. And it's like, and as he's coming across, I got it on camera in slow motion. It's just like, it was right, like, okay, if this is the where I needed hook, it was right there, like seconds away from where I could have hooked it. And he was holding it, and he's just like, ha! And it's just like the whole vomit and everything just came back at me in slow motion. Like, get that out of here.
Oh man, yeah, I'm gonna have to go look at that.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
Well, that's how the sturgeon, that's how they do. You don't know that you have those on until, you know, maybe you're bringing them up, because they kind of tap and rest. They tap and rest, you know, so you got to be paying attention, or you'll just think it might be a little baby fish, you know, like a baby just nipping at your bait. And once they're hooked, they jump out of the water and then go back down. So yeah. So you just got to pay attention. And then you said like that one guy was trying to talk to you as you were getting the fish. That's one thing I cannot stand. If you're trying to fish and you're like, you know, I'm trying to get this in, you know, that's why, like when I'm doing lives, everybody's like, do lives, do more lives. But I'm trying to fish too.
Straight up.
But you're supposed to talk to the people, you know, but I'll end up ignoring somebody because I'm out there trying.
Hey.
Yeah, I used to just, before I knew what they were doing, you know, because I was like, okay, well, it got snagged somewhere. Well, now you just let it, you know, do its thing, you know, okay, I'll just hold on, I'll wait on you, you know. So you wait, and then they're like, they ain't doing it. They ain't worried about me now. And then they'll try to come out and be like, hook set. Yeah, you got him. So
tell me why you don't like braided and why you don't like trebles.
Why I don't like what?
Why you don't like braided line and why you don't like treble hooks?
Braided line to me, you know, after it gets wet and everything, it just sticks. It all sticks together. And I don't like that stickiness. So that's, I mean, that might be minor for somebody, but I just don't like that stickiness. And then treble hooks are they're just so hard to get out. You know, I mean, that's my main thing. They're just hard to, you know, get out of the fish's mouth. And I would hate to have one swallow. If they swallow that, I think that, they're done for.
And that's when you know you're gonna have to harvest that fish, which is again a reason why, you know, back to that original purpose for fishing in the first place. I say anybody doing this, I mean, hell, even if you're dealing with a single hook, even if you're dealing with a hook with no barb, the fish can swallow whatever your bait is.
Yeah.
And are you going to harvest that fish? Are you going to, even if you don't eat fish, are you going to take it to someone who needs a meal? Are you going to do that? Like, that's my psychology about all that. And if it's something that, you know, we were just talking about the danger of eating certain fish or whatever because of the water conditions. Okay, that's, you know, you're not going to feed it to somebody. Can you use that for live bait?
Exactly.
For cut bait. Like, there's so many other ways to just not waste it. Is my point. You know. Yeah. So I'm real particular about all that when it comes to that for my own ethics, and so I'm always interested to hear where other anglers are on that. It's interesting to me. With as far, like I'll say this too about when you handling a fish, especially the blue catfish. The first time I caught that giant blue, I realized for the first time in my life, at that size, they start to get that little pad of Brillo in their mouth.
Oh, yeah.
It gets to be little teeny teeth. The bigger they get, it gets like little teeth. And so I was about to go in and just get the hook as usual. And he said, oh, no. And I went and got my doggone pliers. I got some long pliers and I went up in there like that. And then he clamped. And I said, oh my gosh. And I already knew the strength from the body, but when he slammed on them, I'm talking about, it was until he opened his mouth again, I could not move them pliers.
Exactly,
I was like, okay, all right, get it.
My husband caught a 57-pound blue cat.
Oh my gosh.
Its head was huge.
You just spread out your hands.
And like you say,
your hands need to be out here.
It was huge. Yeah, there's a video on that too, on YouTube. You know, it shows us trying to bring that one in, but yeah, it was huge. And like you say, when they clamp down, they clamp down.
Which
and I see all those men, there's men out there, I ain't gonna wear gloves and other, I'm like, okay, you need gloves. You know, get you some gloves. Oh.
I got one more thing to show. Hold on.
Okay.
I literally just got these, and I'm proud to say I got these from the dollar store because I don't want nobody to feel like, oh, I can't afford no glove. And these, when you see these, you'll be like, the dollar for it? Look at, can you see the thickness of the plastic?
Oh yeah.
These are, and they're comfortable, they're soft, they're thick. They're thick. I mean, they're this kind of thick. And these are $1. $1. Yes.
Really?
Yes. Yeah, we got some good dollar stores in the Atlanta area. We got some good
We don't have that much. We don't have that here.
But when I tell you, when I saw this, I jumped at it because it's got texture to the you know.
Yeah, good grip. It looks like you got a good grip on it.
Yeah, they smell funky with that plastic. I will say that. But they only $1, and so I was happy for seeing those. I was like, man, I'm gonna be ready if I ever gotta go there because, you know, I'm not. I'm generally. You know, I grew up grabbing everything, thumb in the mouth with bass and all these other sunfish. Yeah, that's bass. But even bass is what taught me my lesson about that.
Right.
I doggone holding this fish, and all fish, you know, the power that they all got a different curve when they do it, but they all got that certain jerk they do to get, they all, you know, get me out of here. Let me get back in the water. And he had bit, and they all clamp if they can. So like most bass, you know, once you got the mouth open, they kind of lock jaw. But he was strong enough to twist a certain way where he could get his jaw acting again, and he clamped down a little bit. I said, "Oh yeah!" And
wow!
I just kind of laughing like, "Oh yeah, I like that spirit, buddy." And then he opened his mouth again, and I'm, you know, I took my pictures, whatever. I harvested the fish, excellent meat. That's the other thing about largemouth. Just about no matter how big they get, depending on the quality of the water, you can just, in my opinion, you can eat them. They're great because I ate my 22. I wouldn't.
I know some people are like,
yeah, 22 inches. Yeah, I ate the 22-inch one. And yes, I kept the skin. And as far as those people who don't understand the art of taxidermy, I can't speak for everybody, but if you know, whenever I do get that fish mounted, yeah, I ate that fish though. It ain't just on my wall. That the memory is for me on the wall, but I ate it. I'm proud to say that fish is part of me.
Right.
That's how I look at it every time I eat a fish too. So anyway, it was like maybe 2 days later, I started seeing this little rash near my thumb. I said, what the? Okay. Because the little Brillo pad had scraped me enough that the bacteria got under my skin. When I tell you I had little bumps on my finger creeping me out for about a month, I kept putting everything I knew to put on it. It went down, but it took a month for that to go down. So I thought to myself, I said, okay, that was a largemouth bass. What if you mess around in the river?
Yes, that has happened to me.
Flathead or talk about it, tell them.
Oh, I mean, it's nothing like big, but you know, they call it the sting of the catfish.
Oh, that's a whole nother story. You talking about getting barbed when they got the
fin. Yeah. So that too, you know.
Who got you? Was it a channel?
That draws up, you know, stuff in your.
Oh,
yeah, it was a channel, and it just. It's like, oh, I even have a picture of that too. But yeah, and I thought, oh, it's just, yeah, it was itching and everything, but. You can't see it on camera, but anyways, I have like a little mark from when I caught that big one. It wasn't big, it was like 16 pounds. It's in my intro video on YouTube. But when I caught that one, I even had my gloves on and it still clamped down and made that mark on my finger. But yeah, when they clamp down, it's
who you said 16, you talking about the blue cat, 16 pounds.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. So it clamped down through the glove. Y'all hear this, right? So
yeah, I'm like, okay.
This is
and that's why in that video, I said, yeah, I guess these gloves are just for show, you know. it still clamped down. And I was trying like, oh yeah, it doesn't hurt, but it really did. So.
Right. And see, I love that. I love that you're telling the truth because so many folks try to be macho out here. I done read stuff about folks getting their thumb pulled, the meat pulled off and nothing but a bone nib from messing around with a flathead.
Oh yeah.
And all these macho dudes out here, it's gonna be like, you know, in years to come, it's gonna be like football head injuries. That's gonna become a culture of honest anglers that are like, we've got to do something about gloveless handling of these monster fish. Like, for real, it's serious, but everybody thinks it's played now until somebody can show the evidence, like, I lost my thumb, I lost this. Or it won't necessarily be some, bite. It will be the bacteria. Like, it's not a game, y'all. You got to be real about it. It's, And see, this is the science fiction meets reality part of fishing. It's real. It's
real. They show you that, on TV, and you want to think it's fake, but hey, that stuff really does happen.
I mean, even with them gloves I just showed, my intention is I have them, but I don't look at them as the ultimate safety. My first go-to is just to use my weight. Yeah, my clamp for weighing to get, and it's funny because I learned a lesson with that too. So I got this older one that's thicker that doesn't really work. So my dad got this other one for me that's way nicer. So that's the one I use now. It'll give you an accurate measure. The only problem with it is it has a smaller clamp. So when I caught this last one that was just solid 24, it twisted. You can see it on camera. It twisted the dog. I saw you can see when it twists, but you didn't see me bending it back. But I had to bend it back because it went like,
oh wow,
miss out my so hard. And I respect them. I mean, they give me joy if I can live to tell the story, because I'm like, do you realize the power of these fish? Like,
yeah.
It's amazing. It's amazing. So yeah, like, just be careful. I know we're gonna have a bunch of people watch this and be laughing like, dang, I didn't know it was all that.
Yeah, we tell you, just go out there and do it. I'm telling all these stories.
I'm kidding. Internationally, is there anywhere you would like to fish or fish you haven't caught that you know you want to catch? Have you traveled a lot at all and fished?
No, I haven't. But I mean, I'd like to. One of those whales, catfish?
Oh, yes.
Ooh, yeah. Yes. That would be, yeah. I don't know how I'd do it, but
Yeah. She's saying whales, by the way, not whale. Like,
not like a.
Yeah, let's
not like beluga.
No. No, we don't mess with whales. We're not doing that. WELS. Look it up. It's amazing. And my as far as catfish go, the whales, there's so many, but the whales.
And that gar, maybe we get on that gar together, that big gar.
Oh yeah, the alligator gar. Here.
Yeah.
Yes. And the doggone, the goonch in India. Did you see that episode with
yes. River monsters.
The one with real teeth. Oh my gosh. I just want to see it. That fish is so wicked. It's the definition of wicked. It just looked hard. Like,
even to see them on TV, you're like, oh my gosh. But if you see that in person, you don't want to take off running. I mean, for real. I'd be scared to death. I know I would.
You're going to have some real dreams for the rest of your life. That's a fact. Because even with what we talking about, I know you know the feeling. You go to bed thinking about it. You wake up in the morning thinking about it. You still can't believe you caught that thing. You like, so when you mess around and catch something look like that, like, there was, I don't know if you ever watched Saturday Night Live, but I was a fan of more. I like the new stuff, but I especially like some of the older Saturday Night Live. There was one, I can't remember what season, where this dude made me laugh every time I think about it. He was supposed to be, oh man, I can't think of my name. Is it Neil Armstrong, the guy first on the moon? Isn't that who it is? I'm trying to make sure. Okay, so he's supposed to be Armstrong, and he's, getting older guy. He's in a small town in America, and he's going to the grocery store, to the post office, just regular everyday stuff. And he barely talks to anybody. And when they ask him a question, all he can say is moon. It's so damn funny, because I was like, that skit is literally how I feel about all the best moments of my life, whether it's fish, relationships with ladies, going places, whatever was the best of the best. I'm just like, moon. Like, and it's like, so he gets it, like, he's in the grocery store, the dude tells him his number, and he's just like, moon. And he said, moon? He's like, it's 575, moon. He's at home with his wife, he ain't even talking to her, they get in bed, they try to have, they get their moment in.
Right.
And when he finished, he rolls over, she's just like, get off of me. And she says, will you ever get over it? He says, never, baby, never. And he's outside looking at the moon, howling, moon. That's what I'm talking about. That's what life is right there. But you gotta have moments like that make you say nothing else would matter. What? Like,
right.
so so no, that's definitely how I feel about some of those. Like I just know that's what that's gonna be. And I mention it because we gotta think. I made an announcement about it as usual with the rest of, like I said, I'm building a whole new audience, which is why I'm so proud of this interview, because this is gonna really, I know this one's gonna bring in more people because you're gonna tell your people, and you got some followers already for fishing, and I'm gonna keep telling my folk, we doing this, whether you understand or not, we doing this. So it's gonna bring a whole new energy. But we're trying to do a trip to the Amazon.
Oh goodness.
Yes, for the Amazon, and we're trying to do it in November. We don't have any of the funds right now.
Right.
And we're trying to raise it. So I don't know if you know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. I'm just putting it out there to just tell you to start pushing that. And I want to say this on camera too, that, you know, there's only a few people here and there with anglers that I would trust to be that far away remote with. And I see your character and your spirit. So you're invited. Now,
okay.
Yeah, finding the money is one thing, but because the guy who I'm doing it through, he has an excellent operation. It's like, you know, you're in the Amazon for real, you're in a lodge. It's not like you're in no tents, you're in actual little cabins. You got all your basic amenities. There's a chef, so it's real meals and everything. You got a whole staff. You know, you get laundry care. They wash your clothes while you're there. You're gonna be walking around funky because you was out there in the jungle. You know, it's a real trip, right? And so the other part is we're making it a production. It's going to be part of the ONYXCON Film Festival. I'm going to actually put it out when we do. And I say all this to say this too. If we don't do this one, we're going to do other ones. So keep in mind, I'm taking it. And and like I was saying about celebrity friends of mine and stuff, one person has committed so far, if his schedule, you know, stays clear to do it, because I know how that is in this business where I really know. But he's on that level where he's a somebody. I'm trying to get there. But Rick Worthy, you know, I'm somebody anyway, but I'm Hollywood. Yeah. But yeah.
I'm Shireena. Hi.
Yeah, and she's Shireena. Y'all ought to know. But anyway, Rick Worthy. Now, see, the name might not ring a bell, but you know the face. Have you ever seen The Magicians on Sci-Fi channel? The channel Sci-Fi.
Oh gosh.
Oh, don't worry. I'll give you something else you might know, and you may still.
Oh gosh, I hope so.
Say what?
I said, oh gosh, I hope so. I might have to hide.
Anyway, it was a popular show, The Magician. She played Dean Fogg on there, but I'm gonna give you another one that I'm trying to think of something else. He did a lot of Star Trek. He also did The Man in the High Castle. I never watched that, but I know he was on it. He did, did you ever watch Supernatural? TV show about the two guys, they go around hunting down vampires and other supernatural stuff, werewolves, all kinds of stuff. And they drove in like a monster, I'm about to say, a muscle car.
It sounds familiar, but I don't want to say.
It's okay. If you don't know it, you don't know it. Point I'm making is.
Okay, say something else, but you know, stop making me look bad.
It's okay. This will be amazing if you actually get to meet him. He'll be like, you didn't even know who I was, but it's okay. He'll love it.
Right.
Rick is the coolest dude. He's modest. He's real as hell. That's why we're good friends. But and it all started because of Star Trek. You know what I'm saying? Because of his history of that, and I included him with all the people I did portraits of, the history of Blacks on Star Trek. So anyway, he's from Detroit. He ain't been fishing since he was a kid, but he said I'd love to go. So he's down. If we can get these funds up, I'm just saying, like, I need 10 people total to get my package. So it's like me, my film crew, my celebrity guests, and any other anglers, which is why I'm telling you this, that would be willing to go, can somehow go. Now, we get the funds together, I'm paying for your trip, and this is an honor. But in the meantime, we got to raise it. So this is why I'm trying to get that momentum going. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The trip will be in November, but we got to try and come up with some first point payments in like July. So I'm throwing all that on camera to say for anybody looking that wants to see this happen and would love to watch the result, because it's going to be amazing. We're going to put together a hell of a production. I got folk with drones. I got, you know, I got my 360. I got other folks with GoPros. I got a few other cameras.
Well, I have a GoPro.
See, I know, and that's all you need, just about a GoPro, a good cell phone, and you know, like I said, I got a buddy who got a drone. We ready as far as, you know, production technique. I know what I can do with that.
Yeah, I'll spread the word. I'll spread the word.
Thank you. That's what's up. Like I say, you are welcome to be there. I don't know what you're doing in November, but
Probably nothing.
Sounds good. You think the hubby and other folk would be interested because your family could come? I mean, how many kids you got? Like what? I'm not.
I've got 3.
How many? 3?
I have 3. Yeah, my oldest is 23.
Gotcha. So they all grown kids. So you ain't got to, that I'm asking for that reason because you can take the lodge will accommodate young kids, but I thought it was nah, I don't want to be dealing with nobody's young kids out in the jungle. Yeah. We need everybody. Yeah. Everybody need to be grown. We ain't trying to do that with no caiman alligators and anacondas.
You need to take care of yourself.
Yeah, you go right. We need people who can swim or who can reach and not panic when we throw the rope. And I ain't getting in there with you, but we're gonna get you out. And
oh yeah.
Yes. But no, we seriously want to do this. It would be a trip of a lifetime. I've been planning it since last year.
Now that you say that, you've sent that to me, and I talked to my husband. I'm like, we need to try to do this. I was like, I don't know how, but I'll try. So.
Cool. Well, I'm glad you're saying on camera that you did get that because I knew you may have been, deliberating, wondering. I just let you have your time with it. I said she ain't said nothing.
Yeah, I seen it. So
good stuff. That's what's up. Well, yeah, like I said, so you're welcome to that. And the other thing I'm gonna say. And I know I told you this already, but I'm just so proud of your participation and how you're going about it, being a part of the tournament. You will be more than likely. You just put it like this: even if someone suddenly comes out and starts, they ain't gonna be able to beat you on the hashtag. I don't care who come up. Nobody gonna beat Shireena already with how many times she done used the hashtag. I can tell y'all that right now. I don't know what, unless you just posting every day. I caught another one. And using the hashtag. But other than that, you ain't gonna beat this woman. For that alone, you're already a winner. I'm just saying that. Okay. Awesome. You're gonna win.
When I first started using it, I was like, okay, I'm gonna use this too much. I kept putting it on, and then
the whole point, promote us.
There was a couple times whenever I was like spelling it wrong. He's like, you need to put it like this. I'm like, I am. How am I not spelling it right? I'm like, I kept going back. I'm like.
And you know what? For that one post, thank you for doing that. It helped me to realize. No, seriously, because it helped me to realize it was too long. It didn't need to be the whole spelled out ONYXCON fishing tournament. People ain't gonna write that many letters. So I said, let me see if anybody has already bit my, I used it for something else weird. ONYXCON FT, nothing. I said, yes. So I started using it. That's the official hashtag ONYXCON FT.
When you put the FT, I was like, okay, now, so. ONYXCON FT, use it.
Thank you. That was a commercial. Thank you. So, this has been wonderful. Like I say, you can expect a gift soon. Getting off here, I'm gonna ask you to send me your address and all that good stuff because sooner or later you're gonna be getting a package in the mail. I'm just letting you know. You've earned it. Yeah, you've earned it. And I'm not even gonna tell you where it is, but you got something real special. I'm gonna just say this. I plan to have you wearing something because I see that you represent and you'll be out there looking good in it. So
okay, awesome.
Yeah. We're gonna hook you up big time. So
awesome.
That's what's up. Welcome to the family, ONYXCON Familia, as I say.
Thank you.
And of course, you always a part of ONYXCON fishing tournament and the legacy of what we're doing. I appreciate you, Shireena. Give yourself a hand.
Thank you.
This has been awesome. I'm gonna let you go because I think I see the sun out and yours still out. I'm about to go get on some water.
Me too.
Yes.
So I'll catch you in the next post.
Thank you now. Have a great one.
You too.
Bye-bye.